And look who is here with me right now, Senator Rand Paul, Kentucky Republican. Mr. Senator, welcome to the program.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Okay, what do you make of all this impeachment talk?
You know, I guess the thing that shocks me is that someone like Mueller, who's supposed to be esteemed and has been around for decades, completely and fundamentally misunderstands our justice system. The burden on the government is to prove that you're guilty. Nobody proves that you're innocent. You're presumed to be innocent. So he's out there all over television saying, well, we never said and we never concluded that the president was innocent. Completely misunderstands our judicial system. You're presumed to be innocent. They have to prove that you're guilty. He was not charged. He was not indicted. So he's innocent. And so it's really wrong-headed, but it misunderstands our system for him to go all around saying, well, if he was innocent, we would have said he's innocent. That never happens in our country. Grand juries never issue a bill of innocence. They only either indict you or try to prove that you're guilty. But you are presumed to be innocent in our country, and Mueller completely misunderstands that.
If we go forward with all this impeachment talk and all these investigations and subpoenas and heaven knows what else, am I right in saying that the government is essentially stalled? Nothing gets done.
Yes, and I think people are sick and tired of this. I mean, you talk in my hometown to people who have been watching all this overwrought from some of the networks. It's become so partisan and so malevolent and hateful towards the president. People are just sick of watching it, to tell you the truth. And can you imagine how sick they're going to get if we go through a year or two of some sort of, partisan impeachment process? It's going to be terrible for the country.
I think of you as a libertarian, and Justin Amash is a libertarian. He's a Republican. And he's saying, yeah, he was the first person to say, yeah, it's in Congress's court, go forward with impeachment. I mean, what do you make of that?
Libertarians like myself have for a long time said that the intelligence community has too much power and that we're very concerned that either CIA or FBI could be investigating Americans for political purposes. That's long been our complaint. So I don't understand a libertarian who would take this investigation and say, oh, we should pursue it and impeach the president. It goes against everything libertarians are for. We don't like too much power. We don't like the secret FISA court going after Americans. Foreigners is one thing, but we've always been very concerned about the FISA court being used against Americans. So I've been talking with the president. I spoke with him last night about how do we try to prevent this from happening to the next president or to the Americans at large. And I think the president's open to trying to figure out a way, either legislatively or through executive order, we can try to prevent this abuse of power from happening again.
So you're really involved in taking steps to make sure this does not get repeated.
Absolutely. While I'm a supporter of the president, I'm really a supporter of every American. Whether you're a Republican donor, Democrat donor, activist politically, you should not be targeted by your government. I fear if this happens, that from now on, the new normal will be that administrations will go after their enemies. We've had a problem with that in our country before, and that's why we've had reforms. Right now, this shows me, the whole Trump investigation shows me we need more reforms. It's about trying to control government. Government, they say power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. We need to limit the power of government to spy on Americans. And I think the president may be able to do some of this. So I'm working with him on some ideas where if they want to look at foreign intelligence, but they want to look at an American, they have to go to a public court, district court here in New York, in public and say we have probable cause that we want to investigate an American. Otherwise, it shouldn't happen. They abused the FISA system, which is supposed to be about going after foreign spies to go after an American campaign. This is a terrible abuse of power, and I want to be part of making sure it never happens to anybody again.
We were talking moments ago about nothing getting done in Congress, but you've got a proposal for the budget. Can you simplify exactly what your proposal is and whether or not we're getting anything done on it?
It's called the penny plan. You cut 1% of spending. And interestingly, only cutting 1% would balance the budget in 5 years, or a little bit more than 1% actually. Now, we used to call it the penny plan. This year we got to call it the two-penny plan because we didn't enact the penny plan for the last 5 years. But it's cutting 1 or 2%. It's not that much. And then you hold the line. And then after 5 years, actually, government begins to grow a little bit again. But you hold the line for about 5 years. The budget balances. Can you imagine the signal that would send to the marketplace if we showed fiscal responsibility?
Do you think, I mean, what chance of success, really?
Less than 1%.
You're an honest man, Senator.
No, it is. The thing is there'll be about 15 to 20 Republicans who will vote for it, no Democrats. So Democrats don't even feign to be concerned about the deficit. Republicans pretend to be concerned about the deficit, but less than half of the Republicans in the Senate will vote for this because really the problem is a bipartisan one. We have big government Republicans and we have big government Democrats. The Democrats want welfare. The Republicans want excessive or extraordinary military spending. They get together, and that's why we have these enormous deficits.
I ended my editorial by saying Trump wins. You've got 10 seconds to agree with me or throw me out.
Absolutely agree. I think he's on the rise with this. And when American workers, particularly auto workers, see that they got raises and there are more jobs, 400 new jobs in Bowling Green at the Corvette factory because of the tax cut. No Democrat voted for the tax cut. It's a Republican plan. It was a Trump plan, and it's creating jobs across America.
Republican Senator Rand Paul, thank you very much for joining us, sir. Real pleasure. Thank you. Thanks so much.